Oh, excellent.
More King of Iron Pins 7. I'm really, fuck it, we're gonna do it. Devil Gin bowling.
Huh.
I'm surprised you didn't pick Kuma.
Why?
I don't know. For some reason, it just kind of surprised me that you did, because you hovered over him for just long enough that I was like, how are you gonna do it?
I think I'm gonna go back to my high power dudes.
It's like, and then a bear goes bowling. The perfect
So
bowling outfit.
Were you looking into this whole this thing with the swatting guy?
Yes. Why is it not a felony?
I think in some states it actually is. At the very least, you're gonna get fined out the wazoo.
I think it's... actually, I think it is a felony in Kansas.
Oh, well, it's a felony now because a dude died, but you know.
I don't think I'm gonna do it.
No.
Close.
I feel like it's just so weird on multiple levels. Like, okay, on one hand, yes, the guy is a jackass for doing that, and it should still be a problem no matter. Like, see, Jax is totally different, and it's still definitely something that should be considered some sort of a felony, or probably higher level than it is now in general. But that's only because our police are
fucking
operating on a military level, which they really shouldn't be. Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, there's kind of questions like, well, I mean, given how swatting goes, like,
do you not know what swatting is?
I mean, oh yeah, I mean, I do, but
I mean, no, I mean the police.
Oh, the police, yeah.
Are they? Does it not cross their mind that it could possibly be not a real thing?
Like, I understand that they have to treat it seriously, but like, fucking assess the situation better.
Yeah.
That's part of what Police Academy was supposed to be for.
Shooting should not be your first action in any case. That's kind of my issue.
Just fucking threw that ball down the lane.
Yep. That's what should have happened the first time.
Look how the chain was flailing a little bit.
Yes. It's probably still reacting to the motions that Jack was making because it changed characters so fast, and oh my god, I hate when that happens.
Ugh. Well, at least I only have to worry about hitting one pin.
It's a middle finger. I wouldn't do head on if I were you.
I'm going head on.
Maybe it'll work. You're good. The only reason that worked is because you did manage to get your full power in. It's literally the only reason that worked.
That's pretty much how I bowl, like in all bowling games and real life. It's like, I don't care about spin, I don't care about technique, I care about throwing the ball. I'll let physics kind of take its course. But yeah, it's like, seriously, assess a situation way better than you guys are now.
Wow. I almost got it. I was way off and I almost got it anyway. And that's why I like high power characters.
I feel like if somebody calls in a hostage situation, or somebody has supposedly died, maybe check with like the neighbors first, see if they heard gunfire, because that's a pretty difficult thing to miss.
Well, I get the urgency of this one because basically the guy who called it in set it up on such an urgent situation where there's no way they couldn't have had to do some kind of action quickly. I get that. But shooting should still probably not be their first method.
Yeah.
especially for a guy who's not clearly armed and not, not an obvious threat.
Yeah.
Fatal shot for that occasion. That makes no sense.
America.
Yeah. I got swatted once.
Wait, really?
Really. I don't think I was actually streaming at the time, but I've been swatted before. It wasn't a violent affair or anything. Somebody called in and made it sound like someone else was actually here, and...
Ooh.
Oh boy, that's awful. And that's really all I'll say about that.
Snake eyes.
What's with the stars? That's not a fun occasion.
I think it
Are
means...
you mocking me, game?
I think that means how hard it is.
Oh.
That's like maximum star difficulty.
Well, I'm gonna hit something at full power.
Oh shit! Oh, I thought about
I
you
know,
did it.
right? It almost worked.
It's like the way the camera was going, and then it looked like it might have done it.
Yeah, I didn't think it would work, but I was like, oh, hey, it actually went fine a little bit there.
It's like I feel a little lied to. Yay!
That was just barely a strike. That that third pin in there like a wedge.
Yep. Shoot up the bowling alley with your eye laser, forehead laser.
And then he destroys the lane and can't get another strike again.
Yep. Sir, we're gonna have to ask you to leave.
Yeah.
So I mean, was it you specifically that were swatted, or was it like your apartment complex?
No, it was me.
Oh. Was it? I was gonna say, was it over video games? I'm like, yeah, it's got to be over video games. What else?
It wasn't over video games. It wasn't over video games. I'll tell you about it later. Let's see here. Oh. Okay. So here we go. Hey, Hey, all right.
Jack emoting way more than he does in the game.
Yeah, I'm like, that's uncharacteristic for Jack.
Shit. Nope.
Still relatively good roll.
That is, as the kids say, how I roll. I like how it just uses a stock sound effect for hitting the pin, like, at all.
I think maybe the Heihachi pins have different sounds.
I hope the Heihachi pins, like, shout like Heihachi when they're knocked down.
Alas, no.
That seems like it would have been the thing to do. The first time overcharge happened to me, I thought like I still actually would get pins, and it was just some goofy thing that happened. There's that split second of why am I being rewarded for this? that one pin, the 5 pin.
And give me the middle finger.
Shit. I guess.
Yeah, they apparently caught the guy that did the swatting, so...
And he, like, admitted to it.
Yeah.
I mean, good on him for admitting it, I guess.
He claims to be the guy that... Do you remember when the FCC was voting for to repeal net neutrality, and they just kind of stopped at one point because there was a bomb threat? Apparently he's the one that called in the bomb threat.
I mean, good initiative, but probably the wrong kind of initiative.
Yeah, like that really didn't help anything at all.
That's how you make martyrs?
Exactly. Well, that would only be if there was an actual bomb threat.
Not that at this point anybody would believe any sort of martyrdom that happened here with net neutrality, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they've already cooked the books on just about everything else.
I need a hero. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Why do you want an angsty teen that pilots a mobile suit?
Look, that would still probably be better. Can we just like sabotage the government from like the outside by having Britain take over again? Like they
got problems of their own, man.
But they're not
Brexit
quite like
and all.
our problems, though.
No, theirs is almost worse in a lot of ways.
It's like Europe. You guys can have us back. Sorry about that whole thing with the tea, and I feel like we've learned our lesson. Clearly, we're like
I said, they're kind of got problems of their own right now.
Clearly, we cannot be trusted on our own. Oh, if I'd angled a little bit more. Dear aliens, like, we're ripe for the taking. Please show up and show us your peaceful ways, and also your your devastating alien weaponry that would annihilate us in an instant.
I'm pretty sure that wouldn't stop some people.
Oh, definitely not, but they would be annihilated in an instant, so it wouldn't matter. That problem would sort itself out. Also, your green-skinned space babes. I'm ready to Star Trek.
I guess I should watch the rest of the Orville at some point.
The what?
The Orville. One of the two Star Trek type shows on the air right now.
On
the Orville is the one that was made by Seth MacFarlane.
On actual TV?
Yeah, it's on actual TV. It's on Fox right now.
Oh.
And then you also have Star Trek Discovery, which is the actual Star Trek show that everybody kind of dumped on at first. But it's kind of, the issues kind of died down. Really the only issue is that it's on a service that you have to pay extra to watch. And it's probably, for a lot of people, about the only thing that they would get the service for. Because ain't nobody else going to go watch no more CBS. I'm sorry.
Sort of like Game of Thrones?
I don't think that's true, because there's still Westworld. People watch that.
I don't know, is there a lot of overlap between the two kind of people who would watch Game of Thrones and the people who would watch Westworld, though?
Probably. I know a lot of people who watch both. Or at least that I've seen commenting on both. So, you know, I can see people getting it for both of those shows.
Yeah,
or maybe they want to watch the old reruns of Those Sopranos or something. I don't know. But, like, I don't see anybody who would be watching any of CBS's stuff other than Star Trek actually buying that service so that they can watch it, you know, watch reruns of it later. I don't see that happening. And I think that while Discovery is an alright show, it's lost a big chunk of its audience by becoming a pay show, and it's going to hurt the show rather than help their online service, because they just don't have enough stuff on it.
I can't help but feel like nobody seems to quite grasp that part. It's like you have to be really careful with the subscription-based service.
Right, you better have some damn good content to draw me in, or it's going to backfire. I mean, I got it, because I'm shameless like that. and I paid for the service, and I thought Discovery was pretty awesome. It was kind of shaky. It didn't quite know what it was. It's definitely not the Star Trek that you'd expect it to be, but it's a good show. For the time period that it's trying to cover, it works for what it's trying to do. Because it's like set like, oh, that's not good. It's set like, it's set before the originals, like after, I guess, Enterprise and before the original series, in a sense.
Well, you know, fortunately, you lost me either way, because like I have no idea about Star Trek continuity at all.
Okay, well, Star Trek Enterprise was like the first ever Enterprise. It was set like at the tail end of like our times, basically.
Ah.
The whole idea is there was some dude named Zephram Cochrane who technically, if we're going by Star Trek's actual continuity, should have already done what he did. Created warp drive. And so he meets up with the Vulcans, and humanity takes a step out into space, and all that's wonderful. And then Enterprise happens, and they actually start to go out to space for real. And I don't think they actually meet the Klingons. They're mostly dealing with like the Romulans and the Andorians in that story, if I recall correctly. And then you have Discovery, which is set after that. To give you an example, it's like right before the original Star Trek starts. I think the continuity goes right now in like Enterprise, then Discovery, then the original series, then the movies, like the first 5 or 6 of them, and then Next Generation. Yeah, well, there's the first 6 were all original series movies, so they all take place in between the original series and Star Trek. And then 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 all take place in Next Generation's time.
Shit, there's been that many Star Trek movies?
There have been 13 of them, now that I think about it. Yep.
Counting the reboot?
Yeah, that's counting the reboots. There's been 3 reboot movies.
Jeez.
Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. That's not good at all. No, do not want.
You still got pins, though.
Yeah, but still. Apparently SharePlay stops in 5 minutes.
Yep.
So let me hurry up and finish this so we can restart it.
Don't worry, folks. This is going to be like Dragon Ball 5 minutes.
Yep. You won anyway by a huge margin, so I just kind of blew it for that last half. But yeah, so like I said, it goes. They said Enterprise, Discovery, and you're about to go to another episode, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'll let you finish.
Okay, but yeah, they go to Enterprise, Discovery, Next Generation, not Next Generation, original series, Star Trek movies 1 through 6. Then Next Generation, the Star Trek movies 7 through 9 kind of overlap with the Deep Space Nine with Voyager. Voyager's kind of like as far out as they've gone. And so Discovery, because they really don't seem to want to go any further than what happened at that in Voyager, they just keep going back to earlier stuff. So Enterprise and Discovery are both shows that were made after that. But yeah, Discovery is like they're starting war with the Klingons, and you get the one person that started the fight, and she basically did a mutiny to do it, and so it actually follows a character who's not the
captain,
not the actual, not the captain,
just an instigator in general.
Yeah, and for most of it, she's not even really an officer.
Next time on Nerds Talk About Nerd Stuff.
Yep.
More nerd stuff.
More nerd stuff.